Hi you guys. I always start the video off like that, but I don't know how else to start off my videos. But hey everyone. So I wanted to make a video about why I quit smoking weed for my spiritual journey. And I'm gonna give my personal reasons why I quit, and this is in no way saying that weed is bad or telling anyone to quit. I just want to tell you guys my story of why I quit and maybe how it helped me. And this is kind of a video for anyone who maybe is on the fence about wanting to quit, or maybe they're at a point where they feel like they have maybe, I don't want to say anything that offends anyone that still smokes, because I have nothing against weed and it has helped me so much on my spiritual journey. So this is just for a video for anyone that feels like weed has served its purpose for them and they want to move on and focus more on their spiritual growth, but that still kind of sounds like I'm down talking people who smoke weed on their spiritual journey, which I'm at all not doing. If it works for you and it helps you, it is in no way bad. This video specifically is just why I personally stopped smoking for to focus on my spiritual growth more. I felt like weed was hindering me from progressing on my spiritual journey personally. You know, if it does not resonate, then that's okay. We're all different, you know, different things suit different people. I want to kind of tell you guys from beginning to end my journey with weed, even before awakening, just so you can kind of understand why I decided to quit and everything like that, you know? By the way, if you ever see me drinking this, it's my favorite drink in the whole entire world. It's a matcha green tea latte iced with soy milk. Oh my god, you guys, it's so good. Okay, so I have been smoking weed since I was 14. I started smoking in middle school, I think, or maybe you're not 14 in middle school. I don't know. I just know I was 14, right? I don't know. I think that might be high school actually. But anyways, I've always loved weed. Ever since I started smoking from a young age. In my last video, I talked about how I've experimented with some other things, but weed has always been my thing. I smoked from the time I was 14 to 22. And for some reason, months before I got pregnant with Jayla when I was 22, I'm 28 right now, but when I was 22 is when I had Jayla. And I remember I had quit smoking months before I got pregnant. I guess maybe intuitively I just knew, but at that point I just wanted to quit, and so I did. And I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, Jayla, and I stayed quitting. I don't know if that's correct English. I stuck with it for years. I think 4 years I didn't smoke, and I enjoyed it. But some things started happening. I was going through some dark times, started smoking again, and then started going through an awakening. And then I think I had quit and then restart. I can quit, by the way. I could, if I am addicted to smoking, if I just think I want to quit and I'm gonna do it, I can quit the next day, cold turkey. It doesn't really affect me at all. I have very, very, very strong willpower. So I have quit on and off for the past 3 or 4 years multiple times. It's very easy for me to do that, which is why I always get back into it after I quit, because I'm I can quit anytime I want. If I need it in my life, why not, you know? One thing about weed is I I do it habitually when I do smoke, and it turns into like everyday thing where I become 10-10, where it becomes like dependent for me. Like for any reason, if I'm not feeling balanced, if I'm feeling irritable, anything, I'll want to smoke, and it turns into like an addicting thing for me. So that's why I wanted to quit when I finally moved into my new place. I was like, I just want like a clear head again. Like weed kind of makes me feel like my life is passing by in a fog, like if that makes sense, like just like a clouding my true experience from living. Like how funny. My phone just like dropped on the stand. But I feel like it makes me foggy, and it makes me very unclear, and like my life is passing me by while I'm just in this cloud of like smoke. And I didn't like that, so I quit again. And then anytime I would literally have like a breakdown or just my anger, because I struggle 11-11. I struggle currently still with like anger issues, because like in my last video I said like I grew up in a household where my dad was yelling all the time and had crazy rage from like a drug addiction. So I unfortunately kind of inherited that, I guess, and like I'm coping with it now, but like sometimes when I get angry, it's like bad. Like, so I used to smoke anytime I would have like a major anger thing, because it really, really helped me cope with my anger. Like I'd get mad and then I'd smoke and I'd be fine. But you know what? It turned into every time I got mad, I wanted to smoke. And then it turned into without smoking, I was like an irritable, bitchy mess, you know? So then, yeah, I quit. And then anytime I would get mad and feel like I just hated life and I just wanted to like mask that pain again, I would turn back to weed. I decided that when I got back from my trip to Mount Shasta, my second trip, I really did want to quit smoking. And so I did. I quit on 2 days before January 1st, which was just a few months ago, 2 months ago. And, oh yeah, by the way, it's March 1st, so happy like March, everyone. But yeah, I quit exactly 2 months ago, and it's been amazing, you guys. Like for me personally, I feel so much more clear. I don't depend on it when I have breakdowns or anger spurts anymore. Like I had major breakdowns the last few months, by the way, which normally I would 100% start smoking again. It's always around. So, I mean, it's not like it's hard to get it. It's just always there. So it's very easy for me to start, but I never decided to, and I'm so proud of myself. Like it's been 2 months, even going through extremely hard times, I've not gone back to it, and I'm so happy about it. Like I don't know if I'm done 100% with it, but I really do feel like this is like I'm past using it, because it doesn't really help me anymore. It was more like hurting me. But also I talk to a lot of people who say like it's all about intention. If you use it with the right intention, then how could it be bad, you know? But for me personally, I never used it with intention. I always just turned it into a habitual thing and used it as like a crutch to not want to experience the bad parts of my life, you know? To just numb the pain. So I didn't use it for the right reason. I actually have never tried it with intention, like sitting down and saying this is my intention and meditating with it and whatever. So who knows, maybe in a few years I'll retry it, but for now I'm completely like done with it. And I had some books that I wanted to read, little like excerpts out of, just for some extra insight, like to share for anyone who wants to hear this or listen or, you know, whatever. And this video is getting way too long just talking about weed, so let me hurry it up. I hate wasting people's time just talking. I really just want to like shorten my videos, but I talk too damn much and I cuss too much, which I want to stop too, but I'm still working on myself. And yes, so let me get to the book and then I'll end this video hopefully before 22 minutes. Okay, so this is Telos 2, channeled information from the Lemurians, that live in Telos. Okay, the chapter is called Chapter 5, the effects of recreational drugs on spiritual development. So, example, marijuana and other narcotics, the same principles apply in great measure to all other addictions such as alcohol and tobacco. Atama, is there a group consciousness attached to the use and addiction of substances such as marijuana or peyote as recreational drugs and or spiritual tools? Question mark. Please describe what effect these substances have on their users. And then Atama, the high priest of Telos, says, I would like to speak first on the general use of recreational drugs. A little history to begin with. From creation, they had the wonderful purpose of uplifting energy and consciousness. In the beginning of their use, a long time ago, consciousness-altering plants assisted people to open their perception to their divine qualities, to their divine presence and creator. These plants were used to also enhance telepathic abilities, as well as the gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and other similar spiritual abilities. These spiritual openings connected people more directly with the angelic kingdom, nature spirits, the animal kingdom, and beings from the other side of the veil. And he goes on to say that it no longer does that. So I just want to skip so I'm not wasting time. It says, to understand what happened with this gift that mankind used so freely for so long, it's necessary to go back into the beginning of the Dark Ages, when people consistently gave away their power to lesser vibrations other than their own divine presence. One by one, the civilizations of this planet gradually forgot their original state of oneness with the divine, and they opened themselves to the manipulating and controlling energies of the shadow. So, incarnated beings who had acquired great knowledge on earth and other spheres of existence became the black magicians of ancient times. They are the ones who first genetically altered the sacred plants at their roots. By doing so, they exercised greater and greater control over people by dimming their spiritual powers and perceptions. This took place over a long period of time, and the vibrational rate of the original plants was gradually destroyed and or greatly reduced. The plants available today for recreational use carry a negatively altered vibration that is a far cry from the original ones. And another thing they said is people who are, smoking or doing recreational drugs or whatever you want to call them, even if they're legal, they develop kind of like a grayness in their aura. And I've talked to people who have physically seen this, if they're clairvoyant, or I don't know if that's the right word, when you see things and you see auras, and they can actually see the gray I don't know what to call it, like part of your aura or entities, or just like this gray cloud of smoke around you or energy around you. So that was another really big thing why I wanted to quit. I was like, yeah, I don't want that. Another thing that was in this book that I just remembered is when you do drugs, whether it's recreational or anything, you do open the door for, this is not stuff I like to talk about because I didn't believe in it for the longest time, and I still like to just kind of be in la la land and not acknowledge that there are dark entities and dark spirits or whatever you want to call them. But I do believe in that, and I just don't focus on it. It's not like my concern because I don't personally deal with any of that. But when you do, I have read, if you're interested more, Telos Volume 2, you open the door and you literally create like a hole or a portal, I don't know if that's the right word, for those entities and negative beings, and like kind of, I don't know how to explain it too well, but you open the door for that to happen, or for them to kind of latch onto you. Like when I read that, I was like, I don't want any dark entities feeding off of my addictions, because they kind of feed off negativity and fear, and that's all I have to say. Personally, I quit and I'm loving it, and I don't feel like I'm going back to it, but who knows. But that is my kind of pluses and minuses of quitting. For anybody that is kind of like feeling like me, like they just want to quit, but they don't know like if they should or whatever, I just wanted to share like my insight and my personal stories with it. And personally, I'm loving it. Like, I'm loving not having any substances. Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. I don't do psychedelics, which I have nothing against, and I don't know if I'll ever try them, but I just, right now, I'm completely free and clear of any substances. I feel really clear. I could focus more on meditating and my spiritual journey, and it's helped. So that is my story, and thank you for watching, and that's all. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you do like my videos, and follow me on Instagram @Children of the Cosmos. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Bye.